We have Andre Bauer, Lieutenant Governor of South Carolina. It certainly is nice to meet you, sir.
My pleasure. Great to see you.
Yeah. So this is big doings here. Big doings.
I've been coming to these for a long time. My mother brought me to these in the 70s, and so kind of used to them by now, but it's so wonderful to meet so many new faces and so many people energetic about taking our country back.
Yeah, that's what we need to do, right?
We do. It is sad to see a system whereby the vast majority of politicians have learned to give something away in order to get a group of people that will vote for them for anything based on the freebies that they get off the backs of hardworking citizens that quite frankly don't have time to make it to things like this because they're out working, laboring, so that other people can give their money away.
Yes, and so I hear that you're going to be running for governor.
Probably so. I told everybody I'd wait till we adjourn from the state senate. I need to be, if you're paying me to be up there, I need to be there doing my job. And so when we adjourn, I'm going to get real serious about it. I've prayed about it, talked to my friends about it, and I'm 99% sure.
99? Okay, well, good.
You try to talk me out of it?
No, sir, I wouldn't do that for the world. But I would like to know, what was your position on the bailout? How do you feel about big government and states' rights?
I'm adamantly opposed to the bailout. I'm adamantly opposed to the federal government or the state government getting involved in bailing any of these entities out. It's not our job. We'd still have Packard in business and Studebaker had we gotten in the business of bailing everybody out, and it is going to financially break this country. Also, there needs to be a reward for people that put sweat equity in, take risks, take chances, and then succeed. But if we're going to bail out big business anytime they fail, why would anybody go into small business? They go into the big business that's guaranteed not to fail. We are setting a terrible precedent in this country. This country that was founded on people working hard, and the ones that worked hard had the opportunity to get ahead. There was no guarantee, and there should be no guarantee now. As far as states' rights, our forefathers intended for states to have rights. What the federal government has done in usurping the powers of what each one of us ought to have to make decisions, and not the federal government, whether it's education, things like No Child Left Behind, whether it's highway funds and the fact that South Carolina doesn't get everything we pay in, or whether it's bailout dollars. It has gotten to the ridiculous level, and people are going to have to become outraged and stand up, or we're going to continue down this path that is going to end this country that we all love.
Yes, socialism is at our back door, there's no doubt about it. And speaking of which, we are looking at, of course, the House and the Senate both passed the sovereignty resolution, and right now it's kind of languishing because of the minority report from Senator Hutto. We need to get that out, but we need to put some teeth into that sovereignty resolution, and we're looking for a sound money bill, money that would be backed on gold and silver, held in a depository here, where we could pay our state workers with an electronic card. It would go so much further, and we're getting ready to try to get that introduced here in the House. Would you support that, sir?
Sure I would. I don't want to see us, not only that, but I take it a step further. We got to quit taking care of the world and start taking care of the people that work in this country. We have created a reward system for everybody around the world that doesn't feel like doing anything. People that have babies they can't afford to support, people that continue to live lifestyles they can't afford to support. We're hard-working, honest Americans that are trying to pay their taxes and do the right thing get no reward. We have de-incentivized hard work in this country. And my granddaddy always told me, if you went down Main Street and every car were paid for, you wouldn't have a problem finding a parking place. And there's a lot of truth to that.
So right now, the federal government and FEMA, they're very, very big. They're doing county mitigation plans that they're making mandatory that each county in every single state adopt. And these county mitigation plans actually entail the first responders and the military and the police being able to round up citizens and force vaccinate. This is on the FEMA documents. Now, sir, if they were to come to South Carolina and declare martial law, what would be your act? How would you handle that?
I'm adamantly opposed to it. I don't want the federal government telling me what I can and can't do. I'm adamantly opposed to them. It makes me so frustrated to see what's going on. And quite frankly, a lot of our fellow guys have let it get to this point. We have got to have people that get outraged and say enough is enough, and they're going to fight this. And I can tell you, if we don't, we're going to lose this country that we love so much. It's slipping away every election.
Yes, sir, it is. And Real ID, sir, you were opposed to Real ID?
Well, with Real ID, I'm opposed to continuing anything that continues to let illegals come over here and just turn our head or say it's okay to stay here. Look, there is a channel whereby people can become U.S. citizens, and people have done it for 200 years. And I don't have a problem with somebody that goes through the right channels and becomes a citizen the proper way, just like my forefathers did. But the first thing you do when you step into this country is break a law and then continue to say, well, we don't care, and not try to do things the right way, sets a terrible precedence again. The reason why we have so much of these abuse is because nobody's doing anything, and we make it tougher and tougher for people to do it the legal way.
Okay, but Real ID, sir, that doesn't really have anything to do with the illegals. Basically what that is it's a hand, it's a way for the government to figure out and track each and every one of its citizens. I'm not into the very chip, sir, and I think that the Real ID that's coming down the pike is just a prelude to that very chip.
Well, the reason why Real ID was set up was a lot of because of the immigration problem we have and the terrorism problem we have. And so it's all stemmed from that problem that we have failed to address. And so this is immediately politicians trying to come up with some magic wand, silver bullet that's going to solve all our problems. And in fact, it's not. It's usurping our personal freedoms. And here we have a fight right now in South Carolina where we can't even get the General Assembly to agree you ought to have a picture ID to vote. And so there are two very contrasting arguments where we make hard-working, tax-paying citizens be registered for Real ID, but we wouldn't make anybody just to go vote have to have at least a picture ID. It's a total conflict.
Okay, so you're against Real ID, but you definitely want a photo ID for people who vote, and I agree 100% with that. But you're against the Real ID.
Yes. And I'm against Real ID, but also, again, with this photo ID for voting, the reason why I'm for it is anything you do, you have to prove who you are.
That's right.
And we've got so much voter fraud, why wouldn't you, at one of the most important things that you can possibly do as a citizen, have to prove who you are?
Is there anything that you'd like to say to these people when it comes time to go push the button for you as to why we should elect you as governor as opposed to someone else?
Well, I've served in office for a lot of years, and I've been a big advocate that say we need to put discipline back in the public school, that say we need to decrease the amount of government aid that we have at every level, that said we need to restructure our tax system and scrap what we currently have where it penalizes productivity. There's so many things I'd like them to look at, but I guess the easiest thing for them to do would be to go to andrebauer.com and at least get interactive and learn more about me and at least give me an opportunity to explain to them why I think that I'd be the best governor. And lastly, when you look at everybody running for governor, who do you really think has the energy and the vitality to travel this world and sell South Carolina? And I think if you ask anybody that's running for governor, there is nobody that's ever worked harder for this state than me. A lot of them may disagree with my process. They may say, this or that, but none of them will say that my passion, drive, and desire to make South Carolina a better place hadn't been there for the last 13 years.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.